Hi, my name's Kim J and I'm a visually impaired chef. I'm also a volunteer for RNIB and I wrote two cookery books, A Sense of Cooking and A Taste of Spice, both of which are in large print with all profits going to RNIB. Now today I'm going to make a mango and coconut kulfi and it's vegan. Now if you don't want vegan, that's fine, you can substitute the vegan cream for double cream. It's so easy to make. And there's no cooking, there's no baking, it's just mixing the ingredients together and freezing it. Now the ingredients you're going to need is a large tin of mango pulp. It's about 850 grams, very easily available in all supermarkets. Now I've got 4 tubs of double cream here. I'm using vegan cream, but you can use normal cream. Each of the tubs is 270 millilitres. Now you're also going to need various nuts. The first one is almonds. You'll need 50 grams of almonds, which we're going to peel, half of which we're going to blitz and the other half we're going to slice. Now we're going to do the same with pistachio nuts, again 50 grams, and 50 grams of cashew nuts. Now if you're nut intolerant, you don't have to use those, so you can keep away from those. And you don't need to use all 3, so if you've only got the cashew nuts, just use 100 cashew nuts instead of the others. Now I've also got 10 green cardamoms, which we are going to peel and take the seeds out and turn into cardamom powder. If you can get hold of cardamom powder, that would be great. You'll need a teaspoon. You also need desiccated coconut, about 2 or 3 tablespoons, and that is up to taste. I've also got saffron. Now if you don't have saffron, don't worry, you don't need to use it. And I've got a small tin of coconut milk. Now those are the ingredients I'm going to need for this vegan mango and coconut kulfi. I've measured out all my nuts. Now with almonds, I tend to like to use the whole almonds that already have the skin on. Now if you can't get hold of these, normal sliced almonds are okay, but I tend to find these are better. Now it's really difficult to peel an almond. And the easiest way to do it is, I've got the almonds in a dish and I'm going to pour some warm water on top of it, enough to cover it. Once covered, I'm going to stick it into my microwave for about 1 to 2 minutes. And what you'll find is the skins will just rub off really easy.
Door closed.
And as you can hear, I've got this amazing microwave which talks, which I've got from RNIB, and it's so easy to use. It's got only 4 dials, so I'm going to put it on high.
Low, defrost, medium, medium high, high. 1 minute, 2 minutes.
I'm going to put it on high for 2 minutes and just let it
2
cook.
minutes. 3, 2, 1. Time completed.
I'm going to pull the almonds out of the microwave. Now, I've got an oven glove on because the dish is always hot. Now I'm going to keep it out and I'm going to let it cool. And once it's cooled, I'll show you how to peel them. The almonds have cooled down and I'm now going to peel them, and it is so easy. You just get them between your thumb and your finger and rub them, and you'll see that the skin is loose. Now if it isn't loose, just put it back in the microwave for another 10 to 20 seconds. And it is so easy. You just literally, you rub it and you'll find that the skin will come away from the almond. With all the nuts, I've separated it into 2 lots. So one half I've chopped up really finely. Now the other half I'm going to blitz down in a food processor. If you don't have a food processor, don't worry, just chop it all up very finely. I've chopped and blitzed all my nuts. Now with the cardamom seeds, what I'm going to do is I'm going to blitz them down. Again, if you don't have a food processor, don't worry, you can use the cardamoms whole. I put aside half of the chopped nuts and I've got the other half here. And now we're going to mix all the ingredients together. So I've got a very large mixing bowl and I'm going to pour in the double cream. Now why vegan cream? Well, in my family, I have a son who's vegan I have 2 daughters that are meat eaters and I'm vegetarian, and I've got 1 daughter who has gluten free. So between us all, I have learnt to use alternatives so that everybody gets the same item but in a way that they would enjoy and like. Right, now I've got an electric whisk. You can use a hand whisk, and I am going to whisk this double cream up until it's thick. Now with vegan cream, it's a lot softer than normal cream, so it won't go as thick as a normal double creaming, but just whisk it up until it starts to firm up and form peaks. Now this cream is now nice and thick, so that when you stir it, it's not liquidy, and it's almost as when you stir it and you kind of fold it, it's retaining its shape. That's how you know that double cream is done. You don't want to over whisk. If you over whisk, the cream splits, which is not what you want. Now we've packed this double cream with all those flavours, so I'm going to throw in the nuts that I've blitzed. So all the nuts go into there, and the coconut goes into there. I'm also going to put the cardamoms in. And I'm going to put in that coconut cream, so all that flavour is just going to immerse into the cream, and give it a good stir. And once you've stirred in it, you get the mango pulp and you pour that in. Oh, and it smells delicious. The sweetness of that mango is just stunning. I'm going to add in now a pinch of saffron. And the saffron helps that mango kulfi just go a little bit more golden in colour. I've mixed in the saffron, now I'm going to taste it. Not sweet enough for me. So I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of icing sugar. I don't like things too sweet, and my family don't like things too sweet. Now the other thing I'm going to do is the mango. The mango has to be subtle and not overriding. But if you want a much stronger mango taste, just get with a second tin, add a little bit more mango until you get it to the taste requirement that you like, and mix it all in. I've mixed up this Kulfi mixture and I'm going to taste it just to make sure it's just right. Sometimes it just takes a couple of tablespoons of icing sugar, sometimes a lot more. A lot depends on the mango tins that you use. Now for me, that is spot on. Now I've got these small individual plastic tubs which have lids on it, which I can use in the freezer. Now if you don't have them, don't worry, use an empty ice cream box, an empty plastic box, and you can scoop it out as you would do any other ice cream. And you're going to fill your pot up with this Kulfi mixture. Now it makes a lot, but trust me, it goes so fast. It's great at the end of a meal. It's nice and light, so you're not overstuffing yourself with things. And it's great at a dinner party to show off your skills. Now once you fill the pot, you get the nuts and you sprinkle the chopped nuts that you put on one side on the top just to garnish it. And for those of you with sight, it does look really attractive with that garnish on top. And once you've filled it all up, put it in the freezer and let it set, and then you can eat it. Now you have a recipe for a great dish. But when you're in the kitchen, there are certain safety guides and rules that you should adhere to, and which keeps you safe. Now, one of the things that I do before I start cooking is I make sure that I've got shoes on that are sturdy with good grips. I make sure that there's nothing on the floor that I can trip over, and there are no spillages or liquid or condensation on the floor that makes it a bit of a hazard. Now, before cooking, the first thing that you do, as we all know, is wash our hands thoroughly. And especially when you're dealing with raw meat at every stage, wash your hands thoroughly. It stops cross-contamination. It keeps you and your family safe. When you're using the oven and the hob, know your oven and hob really well. Now, I use tactile markings so that I know exactly what temperature to put the oven on and what setting, so that I've not put the grill on when I should be putting the oven on. Now, with the hob, whenever you're sort of putting anything on the hob, make sure the handle is not sticking out. Now, I like to keep the handle at approximately 10 to 12. And the reason for that is it's not near enough to the unit for you to accidentally knock it off. It is not over another hob which may be on, so the handle's getting hot. So this is the safest position. Now, if you're boiling anything, be very, very careful. Don't fill the pan up too much. And if possible, use the boiler alert, which tells you when that liquid is bubbling away and it's hot, and it keeps you safe. If you're not comfortable with the hob and the oven, use the microwave whenever you can. It's a lot safer. And every time you are taking things out of the oven or from the microwave, because remember, plates and dishes get extremely hot in the microwave, use oven gloves. Now, I like to use thermal oven gloves. They're a lot safer. Don't be tempted to use tea towels or anything else. And they literally go to extreme temperatures, so you're very safe with them. Whenever you cut any food in the kitchen, use safe cutting methods. Keep the blade away from your fingers, so set it a couple of millimeters away from your fingers, and that way you're safe all the time. Now, if you're not confident with a knife, you can use appliances like food processors. Make sure you know how they work properly, and keep safe. And if you're still not confident, ask somebody else to do it. It is better to be safe than have an injury. If you have any cuts or you cut yourself whilst you're in the kitchen, put a plaster on it. And if you have a burn, run it under cold water. And if it's bad, you seek medical advice straight away. Whenever you cook meat, always ensure that the meat is thoroughly cooked, because you know, raw meat will give you food poisoning. Now, the best optimum temperature to cook meat is between 66 degrees and 73 degrees. Use a food thermometer if you're not too sure. They do have talking food thermometers, which you can get quite easily. And you store the meat as soon as you can. As soon as it's cooled down, store it straight away in the fridge and read the advice on storage on the labels.